In Gotham City, a ghost is attacking the city's poor and raiding everything they have. Batman faces, for the first time, a challenge involving supernatural powers. How will he defeat this foe? Join me, as this video is packed with Easter eggs you can't even imagine. Welcome to Comic Chronicles. We are already on the 6th episode of Batman, Caped Crusader, and if you want to stay on top of every intricate detail about each episode, check out our dedicated Caped Crusader playlist that's appearing on your screen. Don't forget to like the videos and subscribe to our channel. This is the best place for you to stay updated on everything involving DC and Marvel. Thank you so much, and let's dive into the video. In Gotham, a police armored truck is attacked by a phantom knight, namely, the Gentleman Ghost. Mounted on his horse, he assaults the police van. Lucius Fox talks with Bruce Wayne, and while Fox advises Wayne to invest in stocks, Bruce reads in the newspapers that the Gentleman Ghost grabs charity loot. Lucius notices Bruce's fixation on the news and asks his opinion about ghosts committing robberies. The highlight of this moment is what Fox says to Bruce about how he treats Alfred after Wayne questions Fox's friendship with Alfred. Lucius says he was raised to treat staff as people, and Bruce should try to do that sometimes. Certainly, Batman wasn't prepared for such a response. From this episode onward, we see a gradual change in Bruce's personality, something very important for the development arc of this Batman. Continuing with the episode, Lucius mentions to Bruce that he bought land, where he will soon finalize a contract to build affordable housing in a school. Afterward, in his office, Harvey Dent reads the negative articles about him in the newspapers and becomes upset with his situation in the elections. Unions have stopped supporting him, and the working class is increasingly withdrawing their support for Harvey. Just then, when Harvey gets in his car, Rupert Thorne is there to offer a deal, where Thorne would help Dent in his campaign, but Harvey declines the help and says he wants to save the city from people like Thorne. Meanwhile, in the Batcave, Batman tells Pennyworth that the truck that was robbed the previous night was full of collectibles from a charity event. However, on the same night, there were 5 other armored cars loaded with money throughout the city, causing the Dark Knight to change the riddle of what was stolen to who was stolen from. Far away, Harvey Dent is giving an interview for his campaign inside a train. While he delivers his speech, people look at him with disdain, and outside, on the tracks, the Gentleman Ghost reappears. Upon entering the train, he orders everyone to put their wallets and valuables in his bag and refuses to take Harvey Dent's money. As he leaves, riding on his horse, he is quickly pursued by the Batmobile, but when he escapes by crossing through a wall, he leaves behind some traces for Batman to investigate. Back in the Batcave, Batman concludes that the ghost targets the less privileged in the city, has an obsession with the 18th century, and uses a coat of arms from a family. Additionally, at this moment, there are Easter eggs referencing Conan Doyle's works in Sherlock Holmes, such as the dialogue between Bruce and Alfred, where they say, "The world is big enough for us. No ghosts need apply," and then they say, "But when you have eliminated the impossible, whatever remains, however improbable, must be the truth." These lines reference the Sussex vampire and the Sign of the Four. The episode then reveals that the land Lucius Fox is about to buy belongs to the Craddock family. Trying to find out about the coat of arms in the Gotham Library, Bruce discovers, through Wilma, the librarian, that it belongs to the Craddock family, which, despite being one of Gotham City's founding families, was removed from the official records after the actions of James Craddock during the Revolution. Gentleman James Craddock was a wealthy anti-separationist aristocrat. Gambling addicted, he squandered much of his family's fortune and nearly lost their home in Heritage Hill. Coming from a noble background, Craddock believed that wealth was his right and blamed democracy for everything he suffered. When he lost his sanity, he became a thief. However, he didn't rob the rich but rather the poor, being the opposite of a Robin Hood. After being captured, he was sentenced to the gallows. At this moment, while Bruce investigates to discover whose coat of arms it was in the library, there is a coat of arms with the name Moldoff, which is an Easter egg to Sheldon Moldoff, co-creator of various characters in the Batman universe, such as Poison Ivy, Batmite, Mr. Freeze, who was formerly known as Mr. Zero, and many others. The episode progresses with Bruce Wayne trying to get in touch with Lucius Fox. Now that he knows everything, he fears for Fox's safety. In Heritage Hill, Lucius signs the purchase contract for the property, and soon after, the Gentleman Ghost appears. Upset about the sale of the property, the Gentleman Ghost decides to end the lives of Fox and his descendant, who sold the land and the house, but just then, Batman arrives in time to confront him. And here we see Batman facing the supernatural and Caped Crusader. Just like in the comics or other animations, Caped Crusader does not shy away from supernatural villains, unlike the films by Matt Reeves and even Christopher Nolan, although Nolan's trilogy isn't 100% grounded. Batman cannot stop the Gentleman Ghost, who gives the Dark Knight one last chance and leaves. Far away, Harvey Dent receives a slew of criticisms for having done nothing while people were robbed on the train. Back in the Batcave, as Alfred assists Batman with his frozen hand, the Dark Knight admits he is facing a supernatural being and will need to find a way to defeat this enemy. Alfred says that there is someone in Gotham capable of helping the Caped Crusader. Then we see the appearance of one of the characters from the DC universe, Linton Midnight, also known as Papa Midnight, a character well known among fans of John Constantine's comics. Linton tells Batman that he will need to deal with magic to get rid of James Craddock. This magic is very powerful and able to expose weaknesses Batman might not even know exist. Batman will need to perform a magic ritual by burning the original deed to Craddock's property, as the ghost believes he still owns territory in Gotham, and as a second condition of the spell, blood from a nobleman will be required. In exchange for all the help he is given, Linton hands Batman a test tube, asks for it to be returned when everything is over, and says that he will know its purpose at the right moment. After that, Bruce Wayne returns to the Gotham Library and discreetly retrieves the deed to James Craddock from the historical archives. Bruce tells Alfred that finding the deed was easy, the hard part is finding someone from the nobility, but Alfred responds that the Pennyworth lineage is descended from the Duke of Devonshire. Bruce replies that Pennyworth never mentioned this before, and the loyal butler responds that he was never asked about it. This makes it clear that until then, Bruce grew up not caring about the people around him, to the point of not even knowing Alfred's past, the one who has taken care of him since childhood. In the cemetery, Batman and Alfred perform the ritual, but the Gentleman Ghost appears to prevent the deed from being burned. The ghost attacks Batman in a fury while Alfred tries to set the deed on fire. After managing to incinerate the paper, the Gentleman Ghost disintegrates amidst the blue flames, but as he turns to smoke, he goes toward Batman, but Alfred jumps in front. Alfred is then possessed by Craddock, but Batman manages to expel him after burning the property deed with a flare. After exiting Alfred, the ghost is trapped in the test tube Batman received from Linton Midnight. At this moment, we see Batman expressing his feelings for Alfred at the thought that his adoptive father had lost his life, and here we have yet another evolution of the character on his journey. We saw Batman in the earlier episodes being completely cold towards people, but here things are different. It was a small step for Batman to regain his lost humanity. Linton Midnight appears at the cemetery, and Batman hands him the test tube containing the Gentleman Ghost. The episode ends showing Harvey Dent once again. His assistant, Gorgon, tells him he has lost more points in the opinion polls, and several investors have abandoned him. Harvey becomes enraged, and as he breaks the glass with his picture in the frame, we can perceive, besides the foreshadowing of his transformation into Two-Face, the shattering of his morality, as he sees no other solution but to accept Thorne's offer and use mob money for the elections. This episode was quite interesting. While in the earlier ones, we were following mundane plots with Batman facing common criminals and the mob, here we see supernatural elements emerging in this new version of Batman. Having more fantastical plots is also fitting for the character, considering that in the Golden Age, he encountered villains with supernatural tendencies, like the Mad Monk. Now commenting on the villain, Gentleman Jim Craddock was originally a foe of Hawkman, though the spectral charlatan also battles Batman several times. His fight against Batman in this episode somewhat resembles the struggle they had in Batman number 310, even having a moment where Craddock controls Alfred. This villain, in a way, parallels Batman, being someone who lacks humanity towards people, while Batman, until now in Caped Crusader, uses people as tools in his long battle against crime, prompting him to reconsider the development of the plots. It may not have been one of the best episodes, but it had a lot of interesting elements. To learn more about the Batman universe, I will leave some good comic book recommendations in the description of this video. By using our affiliate links, you help our channel without paying anything extra for it. Thank you very much for all the support you give us. Now I want to know your opinion. Did you like episode 6 of Batman, Caped Crusader? What was your favorite moment? Write in the comments, like the video, and subscribe to our channel. Be part of our growing community here on YouTube, and don't miss any updates involving DC and Marvel. Thank you very much, and see you in the next video.